Welcome to another episode of the Dibbly Dobblers Cricket Podcast. I am your main host, as always, Callum, and as always, I am joined, unfortunately, by the secondary host, producer, dinner lady, offended human being by the look of it.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
wow.
I said that out loud. Wow. Truth's out now, though.
My name's Andrew, by the way. You never got there.
Well, you looked so offended, so I just couldn't even remember your name.
Oh, dear, right, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Love you really, Andrew.
No,
Always
don't.
pleased for you to be here because it is your kitchen that we're recording. So if I didn't have Andrew, I would have nowhere to record. So, and that's the list of reasons I like you.
Wow. Cheers, mate.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Anyway, we've got a special episode today.
Special. Very
Yeah,
special.
For the very first time, the Dibbly Dobblers have got a guest. So we have done an interview with Carlton Cricket Club's Shujaa.
And just so you're all aware, the amount Andrew has just spoken there is more than Andrew speaks during the entirety of the interview.
Yeah.
But
that's how do we get you to stop talking? It doesn't happen, does it?
I didn't talk that much, thank you very much. But I think really without further ado, we don't really want to bore people to tears. So over to our interview with Shujaa. So we've got Shujaa Khan from Carlton Cricket Club joining us ahead of the European Cricket League. So welcome along, Shujaa.
Hi, guys.
So Andrew, you're the kind of old pro at interviewing. Well, I say old pro, I think you've done like one interview in the past.
3, thank you.
3, exactly. So, even though, we all know I'm the best host, I might have to leave some of this to Andrew a wee bit while I find my feet. But so Shujaa, we have done some homework on you. So mainly because Cricket Scotland did an interview about you. So we just kind of stole all your information from there. So we saw that you started playing cricket in Ayr. So just wondered if you could maybe give us a little bit of background about how you got into cricket and sort of what your cricket life was like when you were back in Ayr.
Yeah. So we first moved to Ayr when I was about 10 years old. So we moved from Pakistan, so me and my family. And the way I got introduced in Ayr was quite ironic as well. It was just at Mum's work, and Mum was talking to a colleague, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Shujaa likes cricket, but we have not really found anything." And then she lived right next to a cricket club, and she was like, "Why didn't you take him along?" So I went along to Ayr Cricket Club, and there was a few boys having nets, and I was like, "Can I jump in?" Me, this little 10-year-old, was jumping in. Little did I know they were first team players. So yeah, got involved at Ayr, went up through the age groups, and then I got into medicine, so that was at St Andrews. For my first 3 years were at St Andrews, and then my last years are now at Edinburgh. So my last years were at Edinburgh, and also parents' work was kind of getting shifted, so we all decided to move to Edinburgh. So we moved to Edinburgh in 2019. And so I used to play cricket with some of the Carlton boys in St Andrews, and they were in my year all along saying, come to Carlton. And I was like, right, we'll see what it's about. So I went along to Carlton, and yeah, it seemed like a very good fit. They're quite similar clubs here in Carlton, very kind of tight-knitted community clubs, yeah. So fitted quite well.
Yeah, it does seem, from my experience Carlton in the past, it does seem like even though it is a big club, it must be right up there in terms of size in Scotland. It does seem quite friendly, almost like it's a small club, but while being a big club at the same time.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on. Obviously coming from Ayr, this is huge. There's the amount of members and the numbers of the club is enormous, and the junior section is huge. And it's just that sense of community, family. It's very family oriented. You got the dads are all playing in the senior teams, and the kids are playing the junior teams, and some of the mums are doing the teas, and so it's all very, very, very nice. And everyone was very welcoming since I've came, and so yeah, been quite good so far.
I can see why they've put you forward for the interview. You've obviously been told to say nice things.
There's some money getting dished around, really.
So one of the slight peculiarities, Andrew, I don't think you have any experience of Grange Loan, is it has quite a slope up one of the sides. Was that something a bit peculiar and you had to get used to playing on that?
Oh, I still don't think I'm used to it, honestly. If I get put there, I'm giving one of these ones to one of the other ones. Can we swap? Can I go that? Yeah, no, it's weird because like I played a lot of like rep cricket and like I played like West and Scotland stuff, but I'd never really played at Grange Loan throughout my career. And I'd heard about this infamous hill. I was like, what? How big can it be? You know, it's like you've got hills, like it's a cricket ground at the end of the day, it can't be. And I came the first, like my training session on a Thursday night, and I came and I was like, wow, that is a hill. But no, I think it just adds some like a different kind of aspect to the ground. Now it's just, I say I'm not really used to it. I'm not, but you kind of do get a bit more used to it. And yeah.
You must
taking catches on that is a nightmare.
Oh, you do need to. It's one of the sort of quirky, especially because it's like a big Edinburgh team as well. Like being up in Perthshire, there's some small sort of rural grounds that have quirky little features to them. I suppose like Meagle's got a big dip in it and things like that. But yeah, being a big Edinburgh club and having this quirky feature just seemed even more bizarre. But must have hit some nice what you thought was going to be fours to the hill that then just stopped.
Honestly, it's towards that score box. You hit a lovely cover drive and you're like, okay, just mark the crease there. The next thing you know, it's rolling backwards and you're like, what's going on?
Run out going for a single.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Shujaa, you moved to Carlton in 2019, but then obviously had a disrupted year in 2020, but you certainly seem to have found your feet in 2021. I see that you were player of the season for the club, and was the highlight personally that big 145. So yeah, how did 2021 go for you? How did you feel about that season?
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously it turned out quite well in the end. It was a weird one because I missed the first like 3 games of the season because I had exams at uni. So I missed that really. And I was coming into the season, I was like, oh God, like I've missed these games. Like I'm going to have to like really kind of pick up my game here. But I'd been training and had quite a good, like we'd been training since like April, whatever. And I was feeling quite good. So I went into twos and had a game in twos and I got a 50, I think. And then the next week they called me up to the ones and I was like, well, right. So, and I was opening and it wasn't something I'd done much of in my career, actually. So I've kind of traditionally batted 3-4. But Carlton, we needed an opener. And it's kind of the same thing. It's more just psychology, really, that's different. But I was like, yeah, no, absolutely, crack on, put me up top. Just the way it was, got 145 that game and then went on from there, really.
So do you think are you converted to opening, or would you still prefer 3 or 4?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I'm definitely, but as long as I'm not facing the first ball, though, so I like to go at the end.
Oh, that's for somehow I find myself last year, not at your standard, but opening, and that was my only thing. I was like, no, I'm number 2. I don't know why. It's just like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The guys coming in bowling absolute gas. I'll just watch from the other end first up.
Yeah, there was no one bowling gas at my standard, but I still struggled.
Yeah. The wee dibbly dobblers are good, though.
That's it. That's hence the name.
That's
our standard, but that's fine.
No, that's why I agreed to it. I was like, Frago, you send me up to this because this is what I bowl. And he was like, no, definitely not.
I know Andrew had said it's like, yeah, I see he's an all-rounder. I was like, I don't know. I've never really noticed. I've seen some of your batting scores. I was like, I don't really think I've seen many wickets.
Yeah, no, I think no. I mean, to be fair, I bowled some in the T20s, but in the one day we've just got so many bowlers in the team. I think we were looking at it one day. We had out of the 11 players, 9 could bowl, and you were like, right, well, I'll just kick back and relax if I get some runs then.
Yeah, I mean, captain's got to be happy at that though, with so many options.
Yeah.
Well, and when one of them is a Scotland international, he's kind of his 10 overs already set aside. So,
well, that's the thing. Normally, it's after he's done with his first spell, you're kind of 3, 4, 5 down anyway. So, it's a bit more pressure off you, really.
They don't even let you come and mop up the tail. I mean, come on, that's what dibbly dobblers are good for.
Exactly.
Get the ball
I tell
hooping.
them this all the time. The problem is the pitches are too flat in the East. It was good in the West. I was getting plenty of wickets.
Bit greener.
Yeah.
That's so from a club perspective, 2020 in 2021, obviously you won the national T20, which is what's qualified you for the European Cricket League. Talk us through that run in the T20s. How was that?
Yeah, really good. So like I said, so this was really my first year of kind of playing like a full competition of T20, really. So we always played our group stages with all the Edinburgh teams, and that's obviously quite a hard group stage because we've got Grange, Heriots, RHC, Shujaa, I think. So it's quite a tough group compared to like some of the other kind of regions. And so we had some really cracking games. We had in the semi-final of the kind of our region, we played Heriots, and a game really that we were kind of losing up until the very end. They needed like barely anything, and then Evo had one of his marvelous spells, and we kind of got through that game. And then we had Grange in the final, and again we only put up like 120 or something on the board first up, and we're like, okay, but again bowled pretty well and won that game. We're like, okay, fantastic, great. So we won our kind of Edinburgh side of things, and then we had that finals day in Arbroath, and we played Forfarshire in the final. And again, a low scoring affair. I think it was like 100 or something. They got batting first, and then we chased it like I don't know what it was, down to like 3-4 down or something. So those kind of last 3 games, really, I mean, you're playing against pretty good teams there, Heriots, Grange and Forfarshire. And Forfarshire had obviously won it the year before, or 2019, whatever it was. So we always knew they were going to be strong, and they've got a good team. So, I think the way our team is, well, we're pretty good, like T20 side. Got quite good, like a lot of variability in our team. And we won that, and then there was obviously talks of like, there's something happening in Spain, or there's like a European. By that stage, we didn't really know what was happening, because obviously no one really knew what was happening the next day with COVID, so let alone 6 months. So and then so from there, I think later on we got told it's going ahead. So
good. So how are you feeling about that on the horizon? So it's just a few weeks away now.
Yeah. So I think all the boys are really, really excited. The thing is, we don't really know what to expect, because obviously none of us have really played in something like this before, and it's T10, it's not T20. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And I think I can't remember exactly all the countries that we've got in our group, but it's like a team from Italy, a team from like Belgium or Czech Republic, stuff like that. I can't remember exactly, but so these teams, obviously you don't know what they're gonna bring, what they're gonna come with. We don't really know much about the ground and the setting, so everything is going to be a bit of a learning curve. But I think everyone's really excited, and we've been we've just been kind of practicing our range hitting really in the winter nets.
So I suppose, based on what you've said, I take it you've not been tuning into the sort of the YouTube channels and the getting Premier Sports and stuff. Have you been trying to check out any clips?
There's like clips from like, I think it was 2019. They had their last one, and I think they've had like they're like international ones where it's like England and all the countries that play as well. So we've kind of been watching a bit of that, and just to see what it's really like. But I think obviously if you've not actually been there yourself, you don't know, like, and it's an astroturf as well, so we don't really know how that's going to play. But it looks like it's I think the standard will be okay, because these countries have I think all these other countries have obviously got most of their players are coming from the kind of South Asian countries, so they're going to be talented, and they're going to bring something. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be good fun. We're obviously hoping to get a good result at the end, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I take it even in given the teams that are even in the Masterton, I take it you guys are not going to be used to playing on astroturf wickets. It's probably since your junior days, I would imagine, is the last time.
Yeah, exactly. Carlton we've got an astroturf, but it's just the juniors that use it. And I was saying, well, why don't we train on it? But I don't think the boys were too keen on a Saturday morning to go on the Astor. They prefer it indoors. So yeah.
Still a bit cold for that at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't blame them.
No, not I.
Keep. It's also not going to be the temperature in Malaga either. So.
So do you guys have to go out and isolate or anything beforehand, or are you just straight out and playing? No,
we're straight. We're literally landing at like 9 p.m. on the Sunday night, and our first game is at 9 a.m. the Monday morning. So apparently the sun
praying for no delays.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So and apparently like the sun rises quite late. So the sun doesn't rise till like 8 o'clock or something. So apparently there's like a lot of dew kicking around in the morning. So it's going to be interesting.
I suppose it's probably more Scottish conditions then. Hopefully that's it.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Maybe that's where we'll strike luck.
I mean, to be fair, again, touched back to Ali. I mean, there's not going to be many of the other teams. They might have some talented cricketers, but I don't think they've got people, with a T20 world ranking to their name. So
that's true. No, I've always been great. Obviously, when you have someone like him and his knowledge and the kind of experience he brings, well, you can just kind of chat to him and be like, well, I mean, I don't think he's played much T10 cricket, but regardless, I think, that's going to be a big help, obviously.
And have you try to think of Scots? I suppose I don't know have you tried to tap up any of your Edinburgh rivals? I'm thinking George Munsey's played T10 cricket. Mark Watt, I think, was playing.
He's played some. Have you just after the World Cup?
Reached out to them at all? Or?
Well, I don't know if the coaches have, or if Evo has. Maybe we should get him to come down and do like a clinic or something. But
get to-do list after this.
I know that's a great shout. I don't know why we haven't actually. You're right. I could genuinely really do some like range hitting tips, because I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, it is such a. I mean, I even find. I like to be like Jeffrey Boycott when I'm batting, so I find a T20 a bit upsetting to me. But so I mean, it must be that thing of trying to get in the mindset of, because I mean, you just kind of have to go from ball one. There's not really any time to be messing about.
Yeah, no, exactly that. I think in training we had this thing where it was like the first ball you face in the nets, you have to try and hit it for a boundary. So we were just trying to do stuff like this, and but yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a few of us who it's probably not our natural game, but it's not the fact that like we can't hit boundaries. It's more like a psychological thing. You think that, I need a few balls to get in, then I can hit. But it's trying to change that and just say, just trust yourself and trust your batting and just swing from the hips, I guess.
There'll be some traditionalist Scottish club coaches who will just be in shock about T10. They've been trying to teach young lads to keep their head down.
Yeah. This is awful for the sport.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
Lost England the Ashes, do you not know?
Well, this is the thing. Whatever we do, we're going to be better than England anyway, so...
Yep, absolutely.
Let's hope that's not famous last words.
No. Yeah, I'll come back with my tail between my legs.
Obviously, though, you say you don't know what to expect, but I assume underneath it, there must be a slight feeling of you're representing one of the bigger nations or cricketing nations, certainly in Europe. I mean, I assume underneath it, there must still be a thing of we're going out to win this, presumably.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it'd be wrong if we weren't thinking like that. I think everyone probably does think that in that group we're probably one of the stronger sides. So no, absolutely. I think we know that we should be putting in good performances, and we should be a strong side really. And I mean, yeah, like I said, we don't know really what the opposition is going to be like, but like regardless, we should be. We're playing against teams like Heriots and Grange and stuff like that on a weekly basis, and so whatever it is, you'll take in our stride and have to just kind of adapt and learn. But yeah, no, I think we will be one of the stronger sides. So we'll see how that goes.
Am I right in saying that this is a group stage that you're out for at the moment, and there's then a basically playoff that you potentially be back
That's
for
right.
a month or so later, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So group stages, and then I think it's like a couple of weeks later. So it's the winner qualifies for the finals. So winner from each group qualifies for the finals week, which is I think a couple of weeks later. And so then you have all the winners of the group, and then goes from there.
So if you win, you can just stay out for like a month-long holiday and it'll be fine. You know? just say, I'm just prep work, you know.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, I wish I could tell my university that and they could get me away, but
just tell them national pride's at stake.
Send them the video of us singing the national anthem and just.
That's it. So speaking of singing, so does I'm trying to recall back from when I did umpiring. Does Carlton have a team song? I know that's something in National League cricket that seems to exist a bit more.
Yeah. No, so it's interesting because ever since I've came, we've not really sang anything after games after we've won or anything. I know that there is a song, and I think we did in the past used to sing it. But yeah, we've not really sang it. I don't really know what the reasoning is. But I know there is a song, we just don't sing it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get reignited when we go to Spain.
Yeah, there's another action for your last.
I know.
Yeah, need to get a list going. Yeah.
Post this interview, just going to telling the guy, right, you need to go back and watch that. There's a list of things that need done here.
Yeah, there's a to-do list to go. Yeah,
I can just see it because there's a couple of names I think are a bit more recent around from on the squad list. There'll just be half of you singing and half of you like, I don't know what you're meant to be singing here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would be doing one of those ones where you're just moving your lips and hoping for the best.
Oh, you just look like a footballer singing the national anthem, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Andrew scribbles notes, but he writes like, well, actually, you study medicine, so your writing's probably as bad as Andrew's.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything about anyone's handwriting because I'm going to lose that competition.
Yeah, no, my handwriting is abysmal. Even I struggle to read it at times. But yeah, no, I do think we've come to the end of what we were going to chat about. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Shujaa. We really appreciate you taking the time out to have a chat with us. And yeah, we'd like to wish you and the rest of the Carlton guys all the best in the European Cricket League, and we hope you can do well and get back for that playoff at least.
And maybe have to have you or another from the club back on to chat once you've won that group and you're prepping for finals week. We'll give you another list at that point.
Yeah, well, that's a great motivation to really win now.
Yeah, no,
awesome, right. Thanks very much for having me, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, thank you very much to Shujaa there for a great interview. Apparently someone can talk more than I can. No, just kidding. He's far less boring than I am when he does it as well, at least. So, yeah, so thanks, Shujaa, for coming on. Thank you as well to John Beattie from Carlton Cricket Club for setting this up. And thanks for Carlton Cricket Club for putting someone forward. And cheers to you, Andrew, because you messaged him, I believe.
I did, yeah. I took that leap of faith and messaged the Carlton Twitter account. So, yeah, thank you all for giving us that, and all the best of luck to Carlton in the tournament in a few weeks' time. I believe it's going to be live streamed as well, although details are to be confirmed, whether that's going to be on the TV or if it's going to be an online thing. But if you keep an eye on our Twitter at dib.pod, when we see the confirmed details of that, we'll confirm it as well. And yeah, come find us at dib.pod on Twitter and interact. Like, share, subscribe on the YouTube or your preferred podcast platform. And thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you again soon.
I mean, Andrew, do you ever stop talking? See you later.